Hello, I'm Filipe. I'm from Brazil, and I'm a postgraduate student here in Brighton, studying history of design and material culture.
And hi, my name is Ava. I'm studying education here at the University of Brighton, and I'm from America.
So Ava, why Brighton?
Brighton is a very open and diverse community, and I wanted to experience a new culture, so I thought Brighton would be the perfect place to come and do that.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
Yeah, actually, I found Brighton after I found the course specifically because I'm a graphic designer. I did my undergrad in graphic design, but then I wanted to step a little back from actually like practice. I was working in the field for like 5 years, and I really wanted to dig in a little bit on theory and a little bit of like on the meaning of stuff on like history of design. And then I just Googled history of design masters, and then I ended up finding Brighton, and like it was love at first sight because of like the town, the city, and just like you said, like the diverse community, which is really important to me. So it kind of like clicked, and I was just like, oh, this might be the perfect choice, and I'm here.
Yeah. I would say for the similar reason of why you chose your course, it would be the same for me. I found with my education experience in the US, it kind of lacked hands-on experience, whereas here, the employability rate after going to the University of Brighton is quite high. Because my course is quite hands-on, and I love the practical aspect of it. So lots of theories, like you said. So it was the perfect course for me. Love at first sight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a postgraduate, so my course is like slightly. It's just 1 year, but I imagine like on your undergrad, you're doing like loads of like different stuff, like practical theory.
It's quite interesting because you can go on brighton.ac.uk and actually look at your course structure. So you can have a look at your modules and see how your learning is actually planned out.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did before I came to make sure that I was actually interested in the modules I'd be learning.
Yes.
And then some of the optional modules that they offer to kind of see how you can tailor your learning to your career path. So.
Yeah, since my master's is more like research based, but I remember seeing on the website that you could actually like mix your own interests on the whole like schedules, modules and that's what I'm doing, and it's amazing. So I can like put my own thing into it. So it's kind of like perfect.
So I think we both talked about why we actually chose the university, but what do you think about the city itself?
Oh, the city, I mean, Brighton, honestly, it's so much more like smaller than where I come from. But also, I feel like Brighton is kind of like alive in some sense because it gives me like small town vibes, but also has lots of things to do. Like there's lots of restaurants, lots of like places to go. Like around the university, you can find lots of stuff to do. And I feel like since we have loads of students coming in and out, so that, I mean, it's like the city is alive in some sense. And of course, like the seafront, and I mean the seagulls are questionable, but but the seafront, the sunsets, the parks is just really, really beautiful. I mean, I think it's really easy to walk everywhere. What do you think?
I completely agree with you. There's so many different atmospheres that you can kind of indulge in. I think there are around 360 cafes in Brighton.
Wow.
So you could almost go to a different one every single day, which I love. And like you said, it's very alive, but I like how there's a balance of you could go out clubbing or to the pubs, but you could also find a quiet place to sit and do your studies and drink a nice coffee.
Like lots of cozy spots.
Yeah, it's really easy to have a nice like work-life balance, and you can never really get bored, can you? There's always something to do in Brighton.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's loads of stuff to do. I mean, I've been here for 7 months, 8 months. And then I feel like I haven't seen half of the town yet. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, it's such a long time, but just lots of stuff to do yet. I mean, summer is coming, so I feel like
that will bring out some new opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, the weather is kind of like very different from where I come from. Of course, Brazil, like very tropical. But honestly, it wasn't that hard. I felt like I was gonna struggle more, like to go through winter, but it wasn't that hard actually. And I mean, I've heard up in the north is way more colder, so I feel like Brighton is like a
kind of lucky,
lucky spot.
Yeah,
like we get lots of wind because of the sea, of course, but I mean it's okay.
Same as you, I come from a quite warm place. It can get cold as well, but it's definitely colder here. So it's been an adjustment getting used to the weather and especially lots of rain.
Yeah, I think the hardest part was to choose my coat on the store because there was so many options and I've never had a winter coat before because, I mean, where I come from, we don't really need like those very warm coats. So I just had to kind of like go for a coat hunt.
Yeah.
Ava, did you attend the International Student Orientation? I think it was on the first weeks of September.
Yes. Yes, I attended the International Orientation, and it was really nice to meet people who were kind of in the same position as I was. When you first get to a new country, there's so many different ways that you think it could go, you know, good and bad. So to meet people who were having the same thought process and having the same worries and anxieties about university and kind of getting into Brighton as a city, it was nice to share our experiences, and they had really fun like events planned as well.
True.
So yeah. What about you? Did you go?
Yes. I also did. I did attend. Fun fact. I mean, not so fun, but actually, when I arrived in Brighton, I was with my right foot broken.
Oh wow.
So I broke 5 days before flying here, which was unfortunate. But it was really nice because the whole university was very welcoming and I got to meet people. Actually, the university had like a Discord server. I'm not sure if you were in there for like the offer holders, which was really nice because I got to meet some people like beforehand. And I mean, as an international student, everything was quite new to me. And then, I mean, I was feeling like an outlander. So it was really nice to have some sense of direction, what to do, like a full schedule. And then I remember I got that on an email and then I could access like the PDF. And then unfortunately, my flight got delayed a little bit. So I missed like the first half on the 24th. I think it's on August. But then I just emailed them. Someone answered me like really quickly. But then we had like 3 or 4 days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like... one day was to kind of get your documents in order, so like passport, right to work, and then the next day was like you had an option of like pottery painting, yoga, careers in coffee. So it was definitely like very versatile events.
Yeah, and that was very like important to me because I wasn't able to walk much because I was with a walking boot and I was walking with crutches, and then I could choose like an activity that didn't require me to like walk because I know there was like a guided walk through the seafront. I know there was one on the pavilion, which I mean sounded very cool, but I ended up choosing like mixed arts and crafts stuff, which was really, really cool. And like talking about that, did you have like a favorite moment from the orientation?
My favorite moment was definitely the pottery painting activity that we did. I actually got to meet another American, and we found out we were actually studying the same course as well. Yeah, so I met lots of people that I still actually talk to this day, and it's been nice to kind of meet that support early on to kind of help you get through the first term and the second term and just kind of create those lifelong friends. But it was just kind of like a special moment for everyone to be sitting there and painting and talking about why we came, you know, our interests, what campus we're studying on, and just getting to know each other. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
what
that's
about
so
you?
cute.
What was your favorite?
I think my favorite moment was, I think it was the last thing on the orientation, which was, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but it was like an Irish dance. Cèilidh. Yeah, on the Grand Parade.
Yeah.
It's like cèilidh. Okay, so production helped. The pronunciation is actually cèilidh and it's Scottish and Irish.
Okay.
Yeah. It was on the Grand Parade, which was actually the first time I got to go to the Grand Parade. And then it was just so fun. Everyone was just so like, not shy. Everyone was dancing. Unfortunately, I couldn't dance, but it was really, really fun, like watching everyone dance. And the friends I made during the day, they were dancing. We were all laughing. And then I remember that day was the first day I got my first meal deal. And then I remember I ate my meal deal with my friends, but it was just really funny. I ended up talking with lots of like different people. And then I got to meet some of the tutors, which was really fun. And then they had like a live entertainer to conduct the dance. It was just really, really fun.
So how was your journey from the airport to the university?
Okay, yeah. It was okay. I mean, I had a little bit of a situation, as I already mentioned, but I ended up getting a Uber ride from the airport to Brighton, which was a little expensive, but since I couldn't like proper walk, it was the best way to do it. It was really easy. Like the airport was really like assistive with me. Like I imagine if you have any kind of like mobility issue, they're going to be very helpful. Like everyone was really, really helpful with me in the airport. And then they even like helped with me with my luggage until I got into the car, which was really easy. But before that, I actually was on the Discord server and I was planning to hop on a bus with some other students. So I think if it wasn't for my situation, I would have just got the bus, like the National Express line, which they have a bus that comes straight from the airport to Brighton. So it should be really like easy to hop on.
Nice.
And what about you? Like, did you feel supported in the airport? Was it like easy?
Yeah, like you mentioned, there's the Discord server.
Yes.
And there was actually a group for international students.
Oh, yes.
And more specifically, there was a group for US students. So I remember chatting away saying, oh, what's it going to be like when I get to the airport? And how is it going to be getting to the university, getting to Brighton? And although it was a simple, easy journey, I think us having the support and being able to say, you know, these are my worries, I felt more relieved actually, you know, going to a different country by myself for the first time, because we're all in that same position.
Yeah, it's okay to be a little anxious.
But it was quite easy, the journey. I mean, it's just... with the public transportation, it's point A to point B, essentially, whether you're going from London Heathrow or Gatwick. So,
yeah, and it's not hard to miss like the buildings of the university in Brighton.
No,
so yeah, and probably everyone in town will know where they are. So just ask someone. And did you thought it was helpful, like the whole orientation thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never forget that there was a student ambassador that worked the international orientation, and he definitely inspired me to become a student ambassador and get more involved in the university. And I think it was helpful to have them there because he answered so many questions about the campus that I was studying, what my timetable might look like, and just some of the top tips and tricks about being at the University of Brighton and, you know, going out, affordability, like meal plans, stuff like that. And we were obviously all able to brainstorm on some of our worries, and he was there to answer that. So it was really, really helpful.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, being able to do the campus tour with them was really nice because usually we will have like some classes around the same rooms during like the term. So it was really nice, like on the beginning, get to know like all of the buildings like around the Mousecombe campus, which is my campus. And it was really, really nice, like having the chance, just like you said, to ask a student like that has already been through lots of like experiences, like some basic stuff like, do I need my card to open the door? Or like, how do I access the library? Or like, I mean, I don't know, opening times. Of course, you can find all those informations like on the website, but some of them you just need to ask someone, like it's lived experience knowledge. So it was really, really nice. And actually, I think one of the funniest parts was actually like getting to meet people I met on the Discord server in person. And then we were just like, are you going to the orientation? And they were like, yes. And it was kind of like the first time we got to meet and then interact and then explore the whole like university setting together. Yeah. So it was just like a very pleasant experience.
I'm sure we were messaging each other at some point.
Probably, yes. The Discord server was really helpful.
Yeah,
yes.
It was lovely.
You mentioned you made a friend on the orientation like week. How was it? Like, are you still in touch? Like, how was it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I made a few friends at international orientation, and now that it's quite busy with university, we don't see each other as much.
I know.
And I usually hang out with like my course mates because it's people that I see every day.
Yeah.
But I think just having that support in the beginning was really beneficial because my biggest worry, and you might relate, is, am I going to make friends? You know, especially when you're coming from a different country.
Yes.
You're like, will I understand their culture, their sense of humor? And when you have people that are also from different cultures, it's really nice to already have those that opportunity to meet other people before you actually start your studies. So
true, like it's really nice to meet other international students because we all can kind of like put ourselves in our shoes. It's really, really nice. And I mean, I would say it's even like a tiny bit harder when English is not your first language. Like I'm from Brazil, and it's like a nice space to feel confident on your accent, on like the words you use. So you see that actually like all the staff, all the university members, the ambassadors, they are really, really nice. And they will like, I mean, everyone is so welcoming. And I honestly, it was like a warm reception. So I just felt it was fun. And then it made me excited for like the whole thing. Yeah.
It was like, it kind of opened your eyes to what more opportunities that could be.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a really nice space actually to honestly have like a cultural interaction. It's nice to have a contact with lots of people from lots of different countries. So it was really nice hearing like different languages, asking people like, oh, how do you say that in your language? And I feel like that cultural exchange is like really exciting. And then, I just think it's like really nice opportunity to start. Like it's a great start. And especially like you're going through so much, like all the documents, all the flight, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna relate the time zone, the jet lag.
Absolutely.
So it's really nice to have a moment to relax and interact with people.
It was like a fresh breath of air, you know.
Yeah, and I mean it's okay to have your worries, just like you said, to be a little anxious, but it's good to talk about that with someone else that might be going through the same. So you find like your gang, your crew, like to kind of like share those things. And I feel like everyone should have like someone to talk about, I mean, the struggles and also about the happy moments because, I mean, there's lots of things happening.
Yeah, I agree. You mentioned the staff were really welcoming at the international orientation. How was the interaction with that?
Oh, yeah, it was really nice because, I mean, when I told them I was going to be a little bit late because I had like a delayed flight, they responded so quick. And most of my communication with them were through the emails. And it was really, really nice. And then I remember once I got into the university, I had a really nice like welcoming on the front. It wasn't Coprof building. And then I remember like getting my welcome kit, and then it had like stickers, had like a pen, it had like one of those coffee cups that I still use till today. It's the only one I have. And it was very useful. I mean, the staff was really like helpful, and then they were like in a super happy mood, and then I was just like, yay, let's go. I mean, and besides actually like on the orientation day, like around my arriving at Brighton, during my like accommodation search, they were really helpful, like giving me tips and asking like if I needed any extra help. When I told them about my broken foot situation, they asked me if I needed extra help. Like, and when I was actually on the schedule, they were always pointing the elevators to me, the lifts, sorry, I like phrasing UK, the lifts. They were always pointing the lifts, and they were always trying to do like alternative routes so I wouldn't need to use the stairs too much. So like the staff was really like, they were really caring about the students and their needs. And I feel like, I mean, it's best for the university and for the students if we feel like safe and welcome. And I remember receiving lots of tips from the staff of how to register on the NHS, like how to get your GP ready in case you need them in the future. Like lots of like, honestly, tips that may seem like really basic, but like for us that we're coming from far, far away lands.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like you can give tips already to a new student?
I think so. Absolutely. I mean, it was really beneficial to kind of get prepared before coming to uni. And I felt like the staff sent out loads of emails about like how to do like a DBS, apply with the NHS. And then as well, like the careers and employability team kind of made it easy for me to transition from coming, from home to here. And I was able to actually get a role like a month into being here, so I was getting like some income. But there was loads of support from the university, which is why I'm able to give those tips now. Yeah, I think I could give some tips.
Yeah, it's really nice how like in such a short time we can learn so much. And I feel like that is why the orientation is so important, because you arrived without, I mean, we're all like students, so we're always learning stuff. But it's great to have those like that basic onboarding, like kind of like stuff. So you just start fresh without like having to ask yourself too much and Google every single thing. Sometimes internet is not going to be available, so it's best to have the knowledge on hand.
I think that's why I found the orientation most helpful, is you just learned things that you wouldn't think would be important, like which like shop to get your groceries at, you know, like apparently you shouldn't go to M&S, you should go to like Lidl or Asda because it's more affordable.
How to get the bus, how to buy your tickets, like if you about the student discounts, which is really good tip, like where to get student discounts, how to get your bus ticket with the student discount, student saver. So like all of those tips are really great.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see students as well on the staff, like as ambassadors. So you're actually getting the source from students. So it's like very relatable.
Yeah.
Like they're still staff because they're representing the university as ambassadors, but they're also students. So it's kind of like the perfect source of information.
Yeah. And it's also really encouraging as well to maybe see student ambassadors who are international students, because it might encourage you to kind of step out of your comfort zone.
Yes, totally.
I was able to come to an open day actually before attending the University of Brighton. And I went on a campus tour with an international student, and she was from the Netherlands, I think. And it was just so encouraging to see her kind of doing well in her studies, and, you know, she has a job, and, you know, we were able to kind of connect one-on-one, and because of that interaction, it felt possible. So I think having those, you know, discords and being able to actually meet people before you come, and maybe even joining some online sessions, like they have like budgeting and finance sessions, and why is Brighton a happy place to live? Joining those and kind of getting yourself involved before you actually come can really benefit how your experience goes, adjusting to a new culture and a new culture. So what about work tips?
Oh, yes. During the orientation program, I remember they presented us like the whole like information that was actually available. So they have like lots of resources. They have like the Employability Hub. I think that's how they call it, which you can actually walk in and have like some tips on your resume, on your CV. You can even have like a professional LinkedIn like photo shoot to get you on your profile. I remember they telling us about all the online resources, which I could actually like at home take a look, like extra time and check them carefully. And actually we have the Careers Connect, which is the website from the Employability Hub, which was really helpful. That's how I got my part-time job. Yay. And what about you? Like, do you have any good work tips?
I would say networking is really important. So any friend that you meet, you ask, you know, what do you do for part-time? And I think just kind of stepping out of your comfort zone to talk to people who might have the same interests as you, because, you know, 9 times out of 10, they probably have the same career interests as well. So at orientation, I met a really, like I said, I met the student ambassador. And because of that, he was able to give me tips on, you know, the job application, what it would look like. So I felt a bit more prepared to do the like student ambassador role. And I also stepped outside of my comfort zone by making a video of my, you know, commute to university. And from that, I was able to join the content creation team, which is just more work for me. So it's really just, like I said, stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that you think aren't possibilities, but really are. Because I think that's kind of the whole morale of being an international student. You're meant to explore in a new culture and explore in kind of the new opportunities that are available to you. So I think we were both quite unsure about what to expect before coming to the international orientation. What would the UK be like? So what is your advice to someone who might be unsure about coming but don't know yet?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. But honestly, my great advice would be just go for it. Because honestly, I've been living so nice like moments, such great experiences here. And also I've been loving my master's. Like it's been such a rich experience. So like try to not fear too much. I mean, it's okay to fear, but like then you see that, I mean, it's worth it. So just go for it. Don't fear too much. Just dive in and try to enjoy as much as possible as you can. And of course, study as well, but try to enjoy as much as you can. And honestly, the orientation, it's a great start. So if you can go, just go and make some friends, attend to the events. I mean, some of the schedule might get you a little shy, just like the cèilidh dance, but just go, like it's fun. And then honestly, it's gonna bring you some core memories for life. And do you have any advice you would like to let the audience know?
I really like what you said, just about stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things that you wouldn't typically do when you're at home. But I would say that there is lots of uncertainty in life. So whether you decide to study in your home country or decide to study here, you never know how it's really going to go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, take that risk, because the way that you change and the way that you grow is stepping outside of your comfortable box. And I think that is exactly what the University of Brighton does for you, because there's so much opportunity and there's so much to kind of indulge in. So I highly recommend coming to the University of Brighton to change and be the person that you want to become.
Yes, totally. Yeah, and if you you guys watching us wants to come, just come and say hi to us. We are friendly, I promise.
Yes.
So that was it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Ciao. Ciao.